the next method we're going to review is compensation. For compensation, it's kind of using mental math to solve problem. We are looking at one with whole numbers first. So if we are subtracting 32 minus 19, we can think that 19 is close to 20, and it's easier to do mental math if we are doing 32 minus 20, which is 12, but you're subtracting 19, not 20. So you subtract one too many, right? You subtracted one too many, which you will need to add one back. And if you use 12 plus 1, that's going to be 13. And 13 is your answer. So using this kind of mental math, this is compensation, and will you agree 19 is pretty much the same as 20 minus 1. So I replace my 19 with 20 minus 1. And if you have a subtraction sign in front of parenthesis, you need to distribute the negative, right? So we have 32 subtracting 20, and don't forget this will become plus 1. And if we use 32 subtract 20, which is 12, and then 12 plus 1, we get 13. So a lot of students, if they can do mental math and they can solve the problem in their head, that's kind of their think process. So using the similar concepts, we're going to apply compensation to subtraction with mixed fractions. Using the same problem we just did, 10 and 2 7, subtracting 3 and 5 7. So the step is you are going to change the second term. And first you want to change that to the next whole number. The next whole number would be 4, but you're subtracting 3 and 5 7, not 4, so you need to, and then subtract back to your fractions. So 4 need to subtract a fraction to go back to 3 and 5 7, which is 2 7. And you can think 2 7 and 5 7 together will become one whole, right? So we're replacing 3 and 5 7 with 4 minus 2 7. And we are subtracting this again. If you see the subtraction sign in front of the parenthesis, you will need to distribute the negative sign. So now we have 10 and 2 7. It's going to be subtracting 4. And don't forget you distribute this here, you will be adding 2 7. And if we think of 10 minus 4, we are going to get 6. And then if you have 2 7 plus 2 7, we have 4 7. And that's your final answer. So that is compensation. And the last way we're going to show you is going to be missing addend or adding up. So last way, oops. It's called missing addend or adding up. Again, we can do this with whole number first. 32 minus 19 equal to box. And remember, when we did the whole number, we are basically changing subtraction to addition. So when we do that, we first start with 19, need to add some number equal to 32. So change subtraction to addition, and the step is going to be, first you're going to add to the next 10, so if I started with 19 plus something, the next 10 would be 20, and then picking up from 20, you're going to add some number to go to the final answer, which is 32. So the next step is add to final answer. Okay, so we are looking at this 19 plus what is 20, which is 1, and 20 plus, you can see 12 is going to be 32, right? And your answer is going to be sum of boxes, which you have 1 plus 12 equal to 13 is your answer. And so 32 minus 19 is 13, and 19 plus 13 is 32. This is the missing addend for whole number, and we're using the same concept and going to show you missing addend for fractions. So missing addend or adding up for fractions. We started with the same questions, which is 1027 minus 357 and equal to something. And because we need to change the subtraction to addition, we are going to have 357, adding something will equal to my answer, which is 1027. So after we set it up, changing subtraction to addition, we are going to show the steps, which we started with 357, adding something to go to the next whole number, which is 4. Add to next whole number, and then the next step we are picking up from 4, adding something is going to the final answer, which is 10 and 2 7. So the next step is add to final answer. Okay, so looking at this, 3 and 5 7 need to add a fraction to the next whole number. So 5 7 together with 2 7 will give you one whole, right? So that's going to be 2 7. And picking up from 4, 4 plus what is 10? So hopefully you know 4 plus 6. And I'm going to make my box slightly bigger. So 4 plus 6 will give me 10, but I need 10 and 2 7, so I need 2 7 more. So look at this again. First we try to add it to the next whole number, and then we add it to the final answer. Again, your answer, final answer, is going to be sum of the boxes. So you are going to add 2 7 plus 6 2 7, and together you have 6 and 4 7 as your final answer. So we can go back to the top, and this is 6 and 4 7, and then this is 6 and 4 7, and this is called missing addend or adding up for mixed fractions. You are changing subtraction to addition.